The scammer thought he found an easy victim, then lost everything. A few years ago, my friend Ryan got an email that looked like a classic scam. It claimed a distant relative he'd never heard of had passed away and left him $2.3 million. The message was messy, full of grammar mistakes, fake legal language, and an urgent warning that he had to act within 24 hours or lose everything. Most people would have deleted it instantly. Ryan almost did too. But something made him pause. The scammer had actually put effort into it. There were fake documents, fake signatures, and even a website pretending to belong to a law firm. Ryan worked in cybersecurity, so he recognized the scam immediately. Still, instead of ignoring it, he decided to reply with a simple message. "Thank you. What do I need to do next?" Less than 10 minutes later, he got a response. And the scammer thought he had just found the perfect victim. The scammer thought he found an easy victim, then lost everything. The scammer introduced himself as Attorney Michael Grant and congratulated Ryan on his inheritance. He explained that before any money could be released, Ryan needed to pay a small processing fee of $850. It was a classic advance fee scam. Pay a little now, get millions later that never exist. Ryan knew exactly how it worked. Normally, he would have stopped there, but instead he decided to play along. He said he had recently lost his job and couldn't afford the fee. The scammer didn't panic. He lowered it to $500. Ryan refused again. Then $300. Then $150. The speed at which the price dropped was almost funny. Each message became more urgent, more desperate. The scammer clearly thought he just needed to push a little harder. What the scammer didn't know was that Ryan was saving everything. Emails, headers, links, and every detail hidden in the messages. And one small mistake was about to expose everything.
The scammer thought he found an easy victim, then lost everything. While going through the emails, Ryan noticed something unusual. The scammer had accidentally left behind a trace in one of the message headers. It wasn't much, but it was enough to suggest a region where the emails were being sent from. That tiny mistake opened the door. Ryan started digging deeper and found dozens of connected fake websites. They all followed the same pattern: fake banks, fake law firms, fake investment platforms. It wasn't just one scammer. It looked like a coordinated network targeting people worldwide. Instead of reporting it immediately, Ryan stayed in character. He continued pretending to be a confused, emotional victim and asked more questions about the inheritance process. The scammer happily responded every time, believing he was closing in on easy money. Then came something unexpected. The scammer claimed the inheritance had increased to over $5 million. And that's when Ryan realized this was getting big.
The scammer thought he found an easy victim, then lost everything. Ryan acted shocked and excited when the scammer told him the inheritance had grown to $5 million. The scammer quickly explained it was due to international investments and hidden assets being discovered during legal processing. It made no real sense, but Ryan played along perfectly. To make things believable, the scammer sent more documents than before. Fake bank statements, forged letters, and edited legal forms. On the surface, they looked official, but Ryan immediately spotted inconsistencies, wrong dates, reused signatures, and mismatched logos. The scammer wasn't careful anymore. He was rushing. Ryan then told him he might be able to borrow money from family to pay the fee. That changed everything. The scammer became aggressive in his follow-ups. He messaged daily, sometimes multiple times a day, pushing harder for payment. But every message only gave Ryan more information to work with. The scammer thought he found an easy victim, then lost everything. Ryan decided to escalate the situation. He told the scammer that his wealthy uncle was suspicious and wanted proof before sending any money. The scammer immediately responded with confidence, promising verified documentation. Over the next few days, he sent everything: fake tax records, altered bank letters, and forged identity documents. Each file gave Ryan more insight into how the operation worked. By now, Ryan had enough evidence to confirm it wasn't a single scammer. It was a structured network using multiple identities, websites, and payment systems. Then Ryan introduced a new idea. His uncle might invest not just in the inheritance process, but in future financial opportunities. The scammer took the bait instantly. Now the focus wasn't $850 anymore. It was hundreds of thousands, and greed started taking over complete. The scammer thought he found an easy victim, then lost everything. Once the scammer believed there was a wealthy investor involved, everything changed. He dropped the inheritance angle and shifted fully into investment opportunities. He claimed he could double or triple money through exclusive financial channels. Ryan acted interested and asked for details. The scammer responded with fake investment portfolios, contracts, and profit projections. Each document looked more exaggerated than the last, but the more he sent, the more mistakes he made. He reused email templates, forgot to mask certain accounts, and accidentally revealed links between different scams he was running. Ryan organized everything carefully. Every message, every file, every mistake. Then he contacted investigators who specialized in online fraud. They immediately took interest. Because what Ryan had found wasn't small, it was part of something much larger than expected. The scammer thought he found an easy victim, then lost everything. Investigators confirmed Ryan's suspicion quickly. Some of the websites and names were already flagged in previous reports, but no one had ever connected them together properly. Ryan's evidence changed that. For weeks, he continued communicating with the scammer while quietly working with investigators. The scammer had no idea anything was wrong. In fact, he thought the deal was progressing perfectly. He kept pushing for updates about the wealthy uncle and the supposed investment. Ryan kept delaying, saying legal paperwork was still being processed. The scammer grew more impatient every day. His messages became longer, more emotional, and more careless. At one point, he even sent personal contact details he had never shared before. That was the moment everything shifted. Investigators now had direct leads, and the net was starting to close. The scammer thought he found an easy victim, then lost everything. The scammer eventually requested a video call. That alone was unusual. Most scammers avoid live interaction because it increases risk. But he was confident now, believing he was on the verge of a massive payout. Ryan agreed. During the call, the scammer tried to appear professional, sitting in front of a fake office-style background. He talked about investments, returns, and legal verification processes like everything was legitimate. Ryan played along, asking questions and acting impressed. But while the conversation continued, investigators were analyzing everything in real time: visual details, background clues, voice patterns, and timing. By the end of the call, they had new leads they didn't have before. And the scammer, thinking he had sealed the deal, ended the call excited. He had no idea he had just accelerated his own downfall. The scammer thought he found an easy victim, then lost everything. Within days, things started collapsing. First, several websites connected to the operation suddenly went offline. Then, payment accounts were frozen. Communication channels stopped responding. The scammer began sending frantic messages to Ryan, asking if anything had changed with the investment. His confidence was gone. Ryan continued acting confused, pretending he didn't understand what was happening. Meanwhile, investigators were shutting down key parts of the network step by step. The scammer couldn't process payments anymore. He couldn't move funds, and he couldn't reach several of his own systems. For the first time, his messages sounded desperate. He asked Ryan to be patient while he fixed business issues, but it was already too late. Everything was falling apart. The scammer thought he found an easy victim, then lost everything. A few weeks later, the scammer disappeared completely. No messages, no websites, no responses. The entire operation Ryan had tracked slowly collapsed. Investigators later confirmed that the evidence helped connect multiple fraud networks and identify people involved in several scams. Ryan never found out every detail of what happened next, but he didn't need to. The scammer's downfall wasn't caused by hacking or force. It was caused by his own greed. Every time he pushed harder for money, he exposed more of himself. Every lie created another trace. In the end, he didn't get caught by luck. He got caught because he couldn't stop chasing more. And all of it started with one message sent to the wrong person.